Well, good morning, everybody. um, how's everybody doing today? So, as you can see, it's dismal. It's starting to snow, and yeah. So yesterday afternoon, I talked with the lawyer and stuff like that, and there was two different options that I could have done. One, I could have had some money, and option two, land. So, and this is what it is. So, Grandma had a farm that she leased to people. And the farm is now sitting. All the equipment, the land, the house, everything all belonged to her. And it was willed to me in one of two ways. I could either have the land, the entire farm with the equipment, or everything could be sold off and I could take the money, which would have been roughly $1.2 million. Okay. Now you're probably saying, well, yeah, lots of money now, eh? And I'm like, yeah, could have, but I checked out the farm, just did a quick little look at it, and a bunch of the equipment is gone because some of the equipment had to be sold to pay off the sister. Or not so much pay off the sister, but that was kind of her inheritance, right? And she's a city dweller. She's got no use for the farm whatsoever. So she just wanted her amount of money, which was fine and dandy. So I ended up taking the farm, and we're gonna take a little trip down there, and it's actually not far away because this is kind of my home area, right? And I didn't realize that she had this farm, that her and Grandpa had this farm, and that it was being leased out. So we're going to take a quick trip down there, and I'm going to show you why I decided to kind of keep the land and stuff instead of selling it all and taking the money. Now I know I got this land, and but I didn't realize the farm was so close to me. Well, I didn't even know they had this farm. Like I said, I mean, about an hour's drive from here is kind of the small town where I was born, a little bit raised, but you know, we definitely left and moved to the city area and stuff like that. So, yeah, if we come out here down this gravel road. Now, like I said, this is like right next to me. Farmers. I think there's a gravel pit down there. This here is the farm. So I now own this. Now I'll jump on the survey map on my tablet here and I'll show you. There isn't a whole lot left. You know, a lot of the, like I said, a lot of the equipment is sold off. So now there has been somebody coming out and kind of maintaining a few things because there are cows out here. Not many, but we do have some cows. Now, I'm not sure exactly. Maybe the manifest on the in the barn here can tell us. So if we go, this is. I mean, this is quite the farm. I mean, it can handle quite a bit too, from the looks of it. You know, so. come out here. You know, we got a little calving area maybe. Not quite sure. I mean, it's obviously a dairy farm, but they haven't been doing very good on the upkeep. But as far as, you know, feeding and stuff, they threw the cows in the meadow, and well, it's winter time, so we're gonna have to deal with that like ASAP. Now we're probably gonna have to buy stuff because, you know, like I don't think there's, you know, there's a little bit of slurry. Meadow's got a little bit, you know, like they are young, they're small, so it's not gonna take much to feed them right now. But yeah, we're gonna definitely have to deal with this. You know, it looks like we got 50 cows out there, so yeah, we're just gonna have to deal with it. Now, as far as what's left for equipment here, nice barns and sheds, some storage here for the bales and stuff like that. I'm not sure if that'll take loose stuff, but I think it will. We got one tractor here. What do we got? We got a Massey 7S210. Not bad, not bad. And we got some silos and stuff here. Looks like probably a seed or... Yeah, I got seed in there. And we got solid fertilizer in that one. Ooh, giant fuel tanks. Anything in it? Yeah, probably not. Okay. Got a nice little shelter lean-to here. Got a bit of a barn here. A storage barn. And then we've got combine sitting here as well. We got a grain header and a corn header. Yeah, so this is definitely a way newer than what I've got sitting on my property, so that could definitely help. Now, as far as the house, looks like we got a windmill water pump. I think that's what this is. Hoping. No, just power generator. Power generator, that's all that is, not water. Yeah, we got even looks like a mother-in-law suite and built in. That must have been probably a garage at one time. You know, but I think that's what they call this, is a mother-in-law suite. Like right next to the house, but not attached to the house in a sense. And then you've got the main farmhouse. You know, needs a bit of cleaning, but yeah, definitely a nice house. So now it makes me wonder if I've got this. Like, I mean, this is a big house. So if I've got this, do I really need to build a house over there? Or even the barns, because really, this isn't far. You can almost see, here, let's check the PDF here. So, as you can see, through the PDF, this is mine. They have this field right across the road. I'm not sure, I don't think anything's planted in anything. I think they're all just plowed fields. They were left, harvested and left it, and that's it. And then, of course, we've got the farmhouse property itself. So, in all reality, here's the properties that I've, you know, I was thinking of buying maybe this one here, but now that I've got that, we definitely have to do something to be able to feed the cows. So, I mean, for now, we can do maybe one for grass, and that can be turned into hay, maybe half hay, half silage, because there's not many of them. And then the other ones we could do, you know, whatever else we need to be able to run that cattle farm. So we can have a logging here. Maybe the people that, if I hire people that run the sawmill, you know, they can live in this little trailer here. We can pull maybe see if we can move that, the hayloft, maybe move it down to there. That could definitely help us. As far as the sawmill shed, we can just leave that there. That can be still, again, our personal sawmill for our stuff. Other than that, I mean, the hot rod barn, the barn that the hot rod's in, you know, really there's no point in moving any of that, but that hayloft one, that'd be nice to take. And it probably wouldn't cost that much to jack it up, put it on a trailer and drive her down and around, right? So, as far as amenities nearby, we got, what do we got? We got a train, and we've got the flour mill, and again, we could easily probably buy this at some point, add to the forestry section, and if that's the case, instead of turning this all into field, why not turn it into a tree field? So we have a continuous crop of trees, right? And I mean, like I said, we could always expand this. We got the other side. We could maybe pull these fields and turn them into tree fields. So the lumber business could be good, and we set it up properly. Each row could be a lot of trees. We can try to figure that out, but depending on how many rows we can put in here, put one row in and harvest it. Each one, you set it up so that when you're harvesting one, you have a new line over here. All right, and then as you go to the next one, you're going to plant this one, and then as that one gets older, you go to the next row that's ready, and you plant the next set of trees. So you're just cycling all the way around, right? So that's an option. I'm going to have to talk to the other farmer, because I was looking into, like I said, buying a chunk of land and putting grass and stuff on it, or maybe wheat or something, just something to bring in more money. And I was talking to a farmer down the road that he may be willing to sell his old combine. But now we kind of got one, so yeah, let me know what you think. I'm excited about it, and I know, like I said, they could have sold all of that land, and right now, market value is 2, 3, 4, so 5, $500,000 plus the property itself, almost $750,000 plus equipment. And that's just the land. You add the house and the barns and all that stuff. And yeah, it was close to 1.2 million or something like that. So I figured, oh yeah, I was selling the cows and stuff, and just all of it put together, because there is the seed and the fertilizer in there that could be sold, the grain bins, all that stuff. Like, there's a lot there that could be sold, and that's what brought the price up. And, I figured, you know what? We can make more than 1.2. We could. Especially with the cattle being there and everything, we definitely could. So, yeah, that's what I'm looking at, and that's what we're going to do. So, obviously, we're going to have to try and, populate some of the tractors and stuff in here again. And, like I said, the fields right now are empty. So we'll have to look at planting here in the spring and see what we can plant. I think everything is ready to be planted. Yeah, this is plowed. And this one's plowed. And they're decent sized properties. Can I get out this way? And I said, my property is just right over there. But it's not far. This one doesn't belong to us yet. I don't know. Could end up buying it someday. Yeah, this I think this is the other field that we own. Right? So it's 3 big fields. And then right here at the corner is our property. Right here. Isn't that freaking awesome? So yeah, I'm going to look into what is going to be needed, and we're going to start getting to work on that other farm. We'll bring down some of our equipment here from here, and I mean we'll live here. We'll see about what we need here. Like I said, we've got the grain truck, so if we do harvest, we've got the grain truck. Now I'm going to call a few companies and see, have them come out and give me an estimate on, or if they can move this. To me, this is not worth moving. I think if you probably blow on it too hard, the damn thing's going to fall down. You know, and same thing with this. I think we just leave this here. It's a good little storage shed, barn, you know, for putting all this stuff in. And yeah, I mean, we're starting to accumulate pretty good here. So even if we needed to build that grain storage, I mean, we're getting the wood to do it, right? So, yeah, I'm going to go make a few phone calls. Be able to get rid of that car. That guy is coming next week, I think, to pick up that truck. He's going to pay me for it. And he asked me if it could be driven. I said, oh yeah, not a problem. I fixed it up, cleaned it up, did the brakes and everything on it. I said, it runs good, but it's just not needed where I'm at. So, but yeah, we'll have to probably leave this truck here for runaround. Probably leave the small trailer here as well. If I ever needed to go somewhere with the quad, well, you either load the quad in the back of the truck or come and get it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make some phone calls and then I'll come back and let you know what's going on.